Well, let's get into some of those fundamentals. One thing has been the low-fat diet. That has been a huge thing for a long time. High proteins, low fat. Help us break through today. I really want our listeners to break through and get some of those fundamentals and some of the misinformation. If you can uncover some of that misinformation for us so that people will go away saying, I know something real versus maybe something that's not been accurate, not been true, that they've been living by.
Well, we've been duped by all these different diets, from the high protein and low fat and low carb, and we've done all of these diets and none of them work. And the simple fact is this, guys: the body has to have fats, it has to have proteins, and it has to have carbohydrates to be healthy. That's what we run on. We have to understand that there's a ratio of those that apply to us as far as an overall ratio of intake. And if you look at a mammal's teeth structure and their intestinal tract, you understand more about what they should be eating and and the types of foods they should eat. So if you look at a cat, it's got a very short, powerful digestive system. Shark teeth, it's meant to eat meat. If you look at our profile, what are we supposed to be? Omnivores. And we're supposed to be eating a variety of food. So once we understand that and we wrap our head around that and stop going to all of these crazy things of eliminating this and eliminating that, and this is bad for you and this is what's getting you fat, none of that's true. What's getting us fat is inactivity, overconsumption, and ignorance. And what I try to do is come in and just educate people again on these basic fundamentals of what we should be eating, the ratios, the ways they should eat, and then cutting down on that huge, massive meal that they eat at night. And that makes all the difference in the world right there.
Tell me about that. Help us with these ratios. So you mentioned fat, protein, and carbs. You got to have these, but what are the correct ratios? And then you said something that sounds like a quick win, is not having a huge meal before you go to bed. Is that right?
Oh, yes. And it goes back down to, in my equation, it's meal size, it's frequency of meal, and the ratio of that meal, meaning carbs, protein, and fat. And to answer your question, it's basically this. It's a 40-30-30. Should be about 40% carbohydrates, 30% proteins, 30% fats. And that is more of the ideal that a human should be taking in. So when you look at that, where are we now? We are taking in probably 50% carbohydrates, if not more, in America, and an enormous amount of fat as well, the wrong types of fat. But what gets us in trouble, guys, very simple. Overconsumption at one meal, going too long in between meals. If you go 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, 9 hours without food, your body starts to slow the metabolic rate down. You finally eat a big meal, and guess where your body wants to store it? In the fat cells, because it needs it there. You're going to go another 9 hours, 10 hours without food, so it puts it in the fat cells. So we have to go back to smaller, more frequent, balanced meals. It's the only hope for Americans to lose weight.